Neil, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello, teacher.
How are you today? All good or what?
Fine, and well. Thank God, I'm, I'm well.
Okay, very good. Nice to hear that. Well, my friend, I was waiting for your classmates, for the girls, for Emily and the other girls, but they haven't arrived, so I'm not quite sure if they're coming or not. So we're going to just start, just you and me, okay? Ready? Bueno, my friend. So this is going to be the week number 4. And in our week number 4, the focus is going to be in technology, right? We're going to be talking about technology as we have before, but well, in this case, we're going to be giving our opinion about some different topics. We are going to be giving what we think, like discovering our thoughts about different topics related to technology. Ready? I'm going to ask 3 questions. I just want you to answer honestly, whatever that you believe it's going to be fine. Daniel, in your opinion, what is the best invention that has been created so far until this moment of the history?
Well, it's a complicated question because there are many inventions that had improved our lives. But in my personal life, I would say that maybe the most important invention that has been created in the last time is the internet because it help us to be connected and learn more than ever before. I mean, in internet you can learn more than in any other library in the last centuries. Mm, there are a quote that say basically that in the internet it's more information than in 400 Alexandria. Who is libraries of hello Emily libraries of Alexandria.
Okay, that is very good. So he said the internet is the most important invention.
Pero yo soy-
Hello, Emmy. Don't worry, relax.
I was also?
Yes, I listen there.
Okay.
Okay, good. So very good, Daniel. Thank you so much. Well, the second question, it's now the opposite. In this case, we were looking into our past and our like current life, yes. But here we're looking into the future. So we said, what new amazing gadget or app will be invented? What do you think? What is an amazing gadget, like an amazing device or an amazing app that will be invented in the future? What will be about, or what do you think?
I think it could be something related to our brain. And maybe we will have an assistant like ChatGPT
Okay.
that is connected to our neuron
Mm,
to help us better interpret our thoughts and emotions.
okay, that's good. I suppose that they are working in on that now. They are already working on that. That's for sure. Okay, very good. Thank you, Amy. That's great. And the last question is, don't you think that technology, right, should be regulated? Regulated? Do you think that it should be regulated or not? Or it's better to let it free?
I
No, I
believe that. Oh, sorry.
Amy and Daniel.
okay. uh, yes, because nowadays, just nowadays, uh, it is something that we use quite often, and many times we use it in a bad way, turning it into dangerous for ourselves. It is true that technology helps us a lot, but if we don't not make a proper use, uh, we will be suffering a long-term damage.
True, true. So yeah, of course, if we don't use it correctly, we don't give it the proper use. in a long term, it's going to be prejudicial for us, no? As it is now, for example, in this moment, the kids don't want to study. They don't want. They have attention problems because the attention it's all focused on the cell phone. So the technology has helped us a lot, but also it has affected us a lot, right? So very good. I also think that it should be regulated, women. And Daniel, what do you think, my friend?
Similarly said, I believe that the tech should be regulated because the same contains many content and it has potential of threatening people and be dangerous for all of us. And I believe that if we don't control or we don't regulate the use of the text in a future, we could be in some kind of problems that we could have avoided or we could have avoided.
Completely right. Yes, exactly. There might be a lot of different problems, health problems, mental health problems, even security problems, no? Because of course we know that the artificial intelligence and everything they have the potential to damage, no? So of course. Okay, very good, guys. So in this case, the three initial questions, they were imagined, they were designed in order for you to express a position, right? That's why here we said like in your opinion, yeah, or don't you think? Yes, because in this case what I'm doing, it's try to make you talk, right? So it's like an invitation to talk, to express your opinion, to express what you think, to express your beliefs, right? For example, in the future, yeah. So in this case, guys, when we are going to talk about technology, well, the idea is that we can use it. In this case, we're talking about devices and products and applications, but so far we haven't talked a lot about people. No? So, for starters, here, it is a good idea to talk about the passive voice in these tenses. Wait, here, right? Because, for example, in this case, we said, okay, the internet. Daniel was talking about the internet, yes, along the history, yeah, the invention of the history, the invention of the internet. But when we talk about who was the person who developed, it's not pretty clear. There is like a long debate because this person developed the connection, the internet connection, the other person developed the cloud, the other person developed the Wi-Fi connection, the wireless. What is the meaning of wireless? Wireless. What is wireless? Inalámbrico, muy bien, Daniel. Very good. Inalámbrico, yes. So in that case, the wireless connection. So in that case, the subject of the sentence is not pretty clear. We don't say like this person invented internet. No, because the internet was an invention through a lot of years in which a lot of people contributed, right? So when I do that and I talk or I give more relevance to the object and not to the subject, yes, it's better to use the passive voice, right? Hmm? Or for example, talking about the future gadget for interpreting our brain cell. Well, brain cell, brain cell, it means neurona, brain cell. Okay, so that as Emily was talking, yeah. So, but we don't know exactly who is going to develop that. We don't know who's going to invent it. Probably it's a company, probably it's a genius scientist. We don't know. But we know the object. The object is a device that will, an assistant, yes, that will be used for interpreting our thoughts, right? Our ideas. Hmm? So in that case, guys, the idea is to better use passive voice when I am giving emphasis on the object and not in the subject. I don't know if you remember, but when we talk about passive voice, the first thing that I have to do is to pass the object to the beginning of the sentence. Then it is going to be transformed into the, let's say, the subject, but it's not the subject, it's just the object located at the beginning of the sentence. Then, and this is the most important part, we're going to mix the verb to be plus a verb in past participle, but this verb to be has to be conjugated depending the tense. Can be is, are, was, were, have been, has been, will be, depending, right? And then the verb in past participle. And after that, then you can use the complement. The complement can be the subject, or can be the place, or can even be the time. Yes. As Emily said it, she said that we don't know exactly when, but sometime in the future, or like, I don't know, let's say they will create a device, an assistant device connected to our brain cells. That's what Emily said, right? But in that case, if we look at the sentence, it's kind of ambiguous, right? Ambiguous. Because they, it's not clear. Who is they? What is the scientist? What is the name of the person? Huh, we don't know because it's not already yet defined. So, as the subject is an incognita, it's not clear, better to use the passive voice, right? So what I'm going to do first here is take the object. The object is all of this. An assistant device connected to our brain cells. All of that, all of that is the object, right? And then we have the tense, which is future, will, and then the verb in past participle. So this sentence in passive voice would be something like that. An assistant device created to, sorry, it's connected, sorry. Connected to our brain cells will what?
Will be create.
Very good. Excellent. Will be, and the very past participle created, right? Will be created. Hmm? If, for example, in this case, my dear Emily says, within, let's say, 50 years, dentro de 50 años, within 50 years. That complement, it's the time, it's a time complement, yes. It can be also located here at the end. So we said, okay, an assistant device connected to our brain cells will be created within 50 years. The complement, subject, place, or time, it's going to be at the end. It doesn't matter because it's going to be the same complement in active voice and passive voice. Why then we have to use passive voice? Because in this case, in the first part, in the active voice, it's a little bit strange, the sentence. We said they, but who's they? No, I don't know. Somebody. Okay, if it's not clear, it's better to switch it on, right? And said, an assistant device connected to our brain cells, that it's a subject more determined, will be created within 50 years. By whom? I don't know. It's not important. Somebody. Yeah, but it's not clear. So it's not necessary to include it at the beginning, right? In the same way, bueno, here we have the future of the passive voice, or better, the passive voice of the future tense. Wait, 1 second. But remember that we also have other three. Well, actually, we have a lot. But today we're going to focus in the future, the present, present continuous, and in the past, the present perfect, right? So, for example, in the future, it's will be. Ay, come on. Okay, got it. So if it's future, will be, and then the verb in past participle, right? But if it's present continuous, okay, is or are being, and then the verb in past participle. And if it's present perfect, you know, have or has been, and then the verb in past participle, right? So what about, for example, if I say, I might God, wait, that many apps, sorry, companies, some companies, not clear exactly which ones, but some companies have created many apps in the last 10 years. Of course, when I say some companies, it's very uncertain what I want to say. What companies? What is the name of those companies? Colombian companies or what the hell, right? So this sentence, which is in present perfect of the active voice, can be changed into the passive voice. How would you do it?
Mm, for example, many apps have been created by some companies in the last 10 years. I would say that.
Exactly, and it's just that the subject is so unclear that in this case it's not necessary to include it by some companies. Okay, but what companies? No, I don't know. So it's not necessary to mention it. Just many apps have been created in the last 10 years. That's it. It's kind of obvious that it's for some companies, so it's not necessary to include the information that is that obvious, okay? Not necessary. What it's necessary is to use it or to change, put the object, which in this case is many apps, in the corresponding place. The corresponding place is at the beginning, right? Well, and then what about if I say, for example, children are presenting a lot of mental issues nowadays, right? Of course, children, but what children? All the children? Some children? Colombian children? Children in North America? Children, the European children? What kind of children? So I'm using present continuous, but it's a little bit strange. The sentence is a little bit unclear, yeah, ambiguous. So how can you report it? How can you pass it to passive voice?
I would say um, a lot of mental issues are being presented by by children nowadays. I think by children nowadays.
Okay, great. Yeah, in this case, it's a good idea to mention by children because, well, actually, mental issues are being presented by everyone. But here we want to focus in the children mental issues, right? So in that case, it's possible to introduce by children nowadays, right? Children is not so important. It's better to mention the object, so I use it in passive voice. But nevertheless, it's a good idea to mention it, so that's why anyway I include it by children nowadays. Ready? Good, guys. Excellent. So in this case, the passive voice, as I said before, it's for that. It's for expressing those things about history that have happened, but we don't know exactly who, or we don't want to specify exactly who. The idea is that, of course, that when we use passive voice, right, we can give all the importance, we can focus all the importance in the object. It's like the king of the sentence, right? So it's going to take all the reflectors on it, right? All of that. Questions there, difficulties, problems there so far? Or it's
No,
clear?
teacher.
All fine? Listo, guys. Very good. Excellent. So that is part of giving your opinion because, of course, when you give your opinion, you talk about what you know or what you don't know. Especially when you don't know who did the action, who was the person who did the action. It's better to use the passive voice because it focuses the attention on the parts that you know, right? For example, just one example. We have a Microsoft. I don't remember the name, but I know that it's Gates. Something Gates started the company Microsoft in one example 1989, something like that. This information is clear for me. This information is not so clear for me. I want to say that somebody Gates, I don't know exactly the name, somebody Gates started, let's say, bueno, ellipsis, Gates started Microsoft Right. Microsoft in 1989. That's what I have. But starting the sentence with a name that I don't remember, it's not really proficient. So what is better? Switch it on. How would you how would you describe it? How would you express that idea?
Microsoft started in 1989.
Almost. Microsoft, yes, because that is the object, right? But remember that it's a combination between verb to be and this verb. So Microsoft was started in 19, oh my God, in 1989, right? Be careful. Don't forget that it's a combination between verb to be and then the other verb. Okay? So that's the way in which we can use the passive voice. Here, I didn't remember the name. The name of the person is actually Bill Gates, no? But I said, I know, no estoy seguro. No, but it's better. Better. Just including the name of the company. The name of the company is more clear. Ah, no, it's Microsoft. Yes. Ah, okay, so Microsoft was started in 1989. The cell phone was perfected in, or the smartphone, better. The smartphone was perfected in 1995, I think so, right? Or WhatsApp was released on 2010, I suppose, 2011, I think so, right? So, by who? No idea. I don't know who's the designer of WhatsApp. I don't know who's the designer of the smartphone. I don't know anything. But I know certain information. So if I want to express that information, except for the subject, then it's better to use the passive voice. Present perfect, simple past, present continuous, is being done, has been done, will be done, is done. Depending that already depends on the context, but it's better to use the passive voice, right? Listen, my dear people. So in this case, I was talking like, oh, bueno, you were talking about technology and you were giving opinions. Hmm? For giving your opinion, for expressing your opinion and asking what the other person believes, we're going to have some negative expressions that are going to help me to introduce that question about your opinions, right? So, come on. Here, yes. So when we have negative questions, yes, it's not so much as a question itself, but it's more like a confirmation of an opinion that I have. For example, I would say, doesn't the government doesn't the government have opportunities to, sorry, opportunities to control social media? This is a negative question, right? But in reality, I am not asking anything. I just want somebody to confirm if the information that I am here presenting in the question it's true or not. When I say doesn't the government have opportunities to control the social media, it's because I believe it. And what I am doing here is just asking if you agree or disagree with me. Do you remember what is the meaning of agree and disagree?
De acuerdo y en desacuerdo.
Exactly, acuerdo y desacuerdo.
Ah, eso es como, digamos, lo voy a decir en español, como, sería como, a ti te gusta el pan, ¿no es cierto? Como, sí, así, ¿no?
Yes, exactly. Entonces, una de las oportunidades aquí, Amy, es usar el como no es cierto, que es como isn't it, es la tag question, que es lo que vamos a ver a continuación. Pero también tengo preguntas negativas, como ¿no te parece que ta 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 ta? Right? So in
Ah,
that case,
así.
we're going to have different options, right? This is one option, doesn't, but we have many others. The negative expressions, they can be at the beginning of the sentence, like in this case, doesn't the government have opportunities to control social media? Or they can be tag question. The tag question is exactly the same subject, the same verb, but in the opposite form. For example, we have, wait a second here. The government have opportunities to control social media. It's exactly the same sentence that I have there. The tag question is going to instruct the same subject and the same auxiliary or verb. In this case, the verb is have, so the auxiliary is present simple. The government, it's it. So what the question is going to look like is it, and the auxiliary of the present perfect for it is does. But remember, if the original sentence is affirmative, the tag question is negative. So the government has not have. The government has opportunities to control social media. Yeah. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes. So in that case, it's like, no es cierto? The same question that Emily was presenting. Teacher, pero ¿cómo así que doesn't it? Yes, remember, this is present perfect, present simple, y el auxiliar de present simple es does, cuando uso it. This one is affirmative, the tag question is negative. So, the government has opportunities to control social media, doesn't it? The other person, yes, it does. Or no, it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's the same question. Doesn't the government or doesn't it? It's exactly the same question, right? More or less?
It's clear. I believe that it's clear.
Okay, good. Now, that's only the introduction to the negative questions because, I just want you to realize that when we have a negative question, it's not really a question. It's simply a confirmation of something that I know. For example, when I say, I don't know, imagine that I am sick and you give me a medicine, an Advil, a painkiller, or something like that. Don't you feel better? What is the meaning of that? Don't you feel better?
Eh, sentirse mejor, como bien.
Entonces me pregunta la persona como, ¿no te sientes mejor, cierto? ¿Verdad que ya te sientes mejor? No es una pregunta real, es simplemente una confirmación de algo que yo creo saber. Por ejemplo, si tú estás malita y te doy una pastilla, al rato voy a decir como, ¿Don't you feel better yet? Yo creo que te sientes mejor, por eso hago la confirmación, como, ¿cierto que ya te sientes mejor? ¿Cierto que sí? Yes or no, right? O, for example, I cook. I believe in my skills. I think that I am a very good cook. So what I'm going to ask you when we are eating, hey, doesn't it taste great? Doesn't it taste great? Like I know that it tastes great. So I just want to confirm that information from you. I just want to see if we agree or disagree. Okay? And in this case, we're going to have one special expression that actually we use it at the beginning, and it's don't you think? Don't you think? What is the meaning of don't you think?
¿No piensas que
Lo que sea, ¿cierto? No crees que tal cosa. So, don't you think it tastes great? Greta. Great. Yes. Or, for example, don't you think that the day is beautiful? Like, sorry, beautiful, right? So that question, don't you think it's like, hey, I am going to think my opinions. Please tell me if you agree or disagree with me. Okay. Don't you think is an expression that can be at the beginning or can be at the end, similar to the tag question in which we use it, for example, doesn't it taste great? Or the tag question would be, it tastes great, doesn't it? Yes, because it's present simple. Present simple affirmative, the tag question is in negative, right? Or for example, in this one, you feel better now. How would you make that tag question? You feel better now.
Don't you?
Muy bien, Daniel. Very good. Don't you? Yeah. Negative way of the present perfect, right? Here, the original one, well, claro que son dos oraciones diferentes, right? But what I want you to notice is that at the end of the day is basically the same. Using don't you feel better now? Or you feel better now, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Doesn't it taste great? Is a negative option. Or it tastes great, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Is exactly the same. Ready? So in general terms, the tag question, it makes the same idea or it plays the same role as the negative question. Yeah. It's just confirming, do we agree or not? And don't you think it's not the exception? Don't you think we're going to do exactly the same? For example, the day, oh, sorry, the day, this is not day, sorry. It's today is beautiful. Oh my God, it's beautiful, right? The expression, don't you think? It can be at the beginning, like, don't you think that the day is beautiful? Or the day is beautiful. Come on. Don't you think? So it can be positioned at the beginning or it can be positioned at the end. Exactly the same as we can do it with a tag question. How do you feel now? Better, a little bit more clear? Is the same? What do you think?
Better. I feel better about this topic.
Okay. Emmy, good?
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Now, my opinion is not always completely determined or completely finished, yes, or established. I just can present some hypothetical situations or some hypothetical opinions. Yeah. Originally, the questions are with don't, doesn't, or aren't, depending on on what I want to say, right? For example, if I want to say that kids are wasting a lot of time. That is the sentence, the original sentence, right? And we're going to put it two different ways to confirm. One negative question and one tag question. Try to do it. Kids are wasting a lot of time. How would you do it?
Mm, aren't they?
Good, excellent. The tag question would be, aren't they? Oh, wait, sorry, aren't they? Yes. How would be then the negative question at the beginning? What do you think?
Are not the kids wasting a lot of time?
Perfect, very good. So the same, no? Aren't the kids wasting a lot of time? So same idea here, negated with the negative question, aren't wasting. And here with the tag question, aren't they? Aren't they what? They who? The kids. Yes. Aren't they what? Wasting a lot of time. So both ways are going to be basically the same. Yeah. Now, guys, if I am presenting a hypothetical opinion, I can make negative questions also with the modal verbs. Wouldn't it or shouldn't it? The questions with normal verbs, like in the yellow example, they are done with the normal verbs because they present something realistic. That's when I say, isn't it sad? Ah, bueno, when we use verb to be, it's because we're going to use an adjective. For example, isn't it or isn't a sad people who waste water, for example. Yeah, isn't and sad. If this is something that happens, this is something that really happens. People waste water and they look sad. Yes, they make me sad. Yeah. So isn't it sad people who waste water? Because it's something realistic. But if I use wouldn't it or shouldn't it, I'm just thinking or imagining an unreal situation. For example, hey guys, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't wouldn't it be better to recycle water? Right? So the idea of these green examples with wouldn't it or shouldn't it is that they have the possibility to talk about opinions which are not realistic. Yeah. I think in that case, of course, I'm saying, wouldn't it be better to recycle water? And everybody's going to say, oh, yes, of course. Bueno, but the most of the people don't do it, right? So that's why it is not something realistic. It's kind of unreal. Hmm? But in the same way, I can also make with this negative questions or tag questions, right? I would say, for example, my shoot. Right. So, people, come on, people shouldn't, sorry, shouldn't people recycle water? That is one option. How would you make the same idea, but creating it with a tag question?
Maybe people should recycle water. Um, haven't they? Maybe.
Not haven't. Same modal verb. Use the same modal verb.
Shouldn't they?
Exactly mine. Ready? Shouldn't, right. Shouldn't they? Right? And it's exactly the same part that we have in the negative question. Simply that here we say shouldn't people, but people, it's exactly they. And shouldn't they? It's exactly the same idea. ¿Vale? Questions so far, difficult so problems here.
No problems, teacher.
No, is it all right? Emmy, good, no problem.
No problem, teacher.
Perfect, very good. Bueno, my dear people, so what do you think? What's your opinion? What do you believe about Apple Vision Pro? Have you seen the Apple Vision Pro?
Yeah, it's this kind of glass. Well, I don't know if I can say
Googles, like goggles or glasses?
Googles that you put in your hand, and it's supposed to create some kind of virtual reality for you.
Exactly, very good. Emmy, you were going to give an opinion or describe the product?
No.
Good, no problem.
Yes,
So,
I heard a little of this. Not, I don't know a lot, but
okay, no problem. Just with the little that you know, you're going to give me your opinion. Ready? So, guys, what do you think about the Apple Vision Pro? Careful. We are not going to say, Apple Vision Pro is a good idea. No, but that's too simple, right? Try to create a opinion based on a question that you have, on a negative question, right? Or you can also describe it using passive voice. For example, if I wanted to talk about the creation of that, I would have to use that. Or I would have to say that it has been improved by no through a lot of years. That is my opinion. I think that it has been improved through a lot of years, right? But also, I want to mention that it's risky. Yeah. So, for example, using this device in the street could be really dangerous for the user, and also for other pedestrians. What is the meaning of pedestrians? What is the meaning of pedestrians?
Peatón.
Peatones, muy bien, very good. So, and in that case, I'm going to include the negative question. Using this device in the street could be really dangerous for the users and also for other pedestrians. Couldn't it? Yeah, that is an opinion that it's well established, well structured, and that it has the possibility to reply. Yeah, because in that case, with that tag question, I am opening the door for a conversation. I'm saying, that's what I think, but I don't know what you think. Tell me what you think, right? So this opinion, it's going to open a lot of windows, a lot of doors in terms of conversation. While if I say, oh no, yeah, the Apple Vision Pro, it's fantastic. Ah, bueno, okay, it's fantastic. Y no más. I said, okay, well, goodbye. The conversation is closed, right? So the idea is to maintain it open. So what is your opinion now that we have seen the example with Apple Vision Pro? What is your opinion about iPhone 16 Pro Max? What's your opinion about it?
I believe that the it's iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's a really good, um, it's a really good phone. But I believe that also um, this device have it's very expensive, isn't it?
Excellent, my friend. So, well, he said, I believe that iPhone 16 Pro Max is a good device, but also I think that it is very expensive, isn't it? I think the same, Danny. I think it's really expensive. It is extremely expensive for the things that it does. No, it's extremely expensive. Okay, Emily, what is your opinion about the iPhone 16 Pro Max?
Uh, I think it is no longer necessary that they are releasing so many iPhones every day, every year, because they only change a few things like the camera or the space. Uh, isn't it?
Great, but you have to close it with a negative question. Or if you don't know exactly, if it's like a very big idea, like in that case, I think that it is not necessary to release so many iPhones nowadays because they are releasing all the idea. We can finish with the expression, don't you think?
Okay, teacher.
Exactly, dear. So don't you think? And because it was a longer idea, so in that case you say, oh, don't you think? And I would say, oh yeah, of course, I think the same because actually I think the same, right? Oh, remember that it's also a possibility to use negative questions, no? For example, what would you like from the iPhone 16 Pro Max? What would you like cheaper or any other functionality or I don't know, different design? What would you like for that self?
The main thing that I like about the iPhone 16, maybe its capacity and its power. It's something that I like a lot about this kind of devices.
Danny, but you said its capacity and its what? Sorry?
Its capacity and its power. Mm,
Ah, its
we
power.
think
Okay. Yeah.
potencia es lo mismo que
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, power is the same, right? So, but for example, if you could improve something, what would you like to improve?
Maybe something that I would like in the iPhone 16 and in the iPhone devices in general, it's the programmed obsolescence because these kind of devices, of this kind of
Company.
businesses have a problem, and it's that they become obsolete um, by some time later. In some time in the future, you can use it well because they become obsolete, and you need to
Mm,
buy a new one in
okay.
order to have a good phone.
Exactly. Very good, Daniel. Actually, that is one part of the of one of the activities in this week. Yes. And it's just expressing how would you feel about the obsolescence, even when the adjective is obsolete, right? So in that case, you said is this is a negative question. Isn't it infuriating? Isn't it infuriating how fast the iPhones become obsolete? Obsolete. Yeah. So you are expressing your opinion that they become obsolete so quickly, and at the same time, you are expressing one position through that opinion. I am very against the obsolescence of the period of the iPhones. So you said, hey, isn't it infuriating how fast the iPhones become obsolete? It's horrible, right? Or that because that is what happens. Or if I am thinking in an idea for that, for example, we said, wouldn't it, oh, sorry, wouldn't it be better to have longer lasting cell phones or devices? What is the meaning of longer lasting? Longer lasting.
Larga duración,
Exactly,
como,
like de más duración, ¿cierto? Más duraderos. So wouldn't it be better to have longer lasting devices? Pero acá digo, wouldn't it be better? Why? Because this is not real. It's just my idea. It's only a desire for the future, but it's not happening. What is happening is that the iPhones become obsolete. That is why I use it with simple present. Isn't it or doesn't it? In this case, when it's imaginary, wouldn't it or shouldn't it, depending the one that you prefer, or depending the situation that you created, right? How do you feel? More or less questions, difficulties about it, the negative questions, all fine, not fine?
it's clear.
Yes. It's a matter of practice, ready? So in this case, guys, it's a good idea to have a device or an application or something like that. For example, Danny, do you have a favorite video game?
Mm, well, a favorite video game. There, the problem is that there are a lot of good games that I liked, but maybe I could say some one called Arena Breakout. It's a video game for the phone.
Okay. What is the name?
Arena Breakout.
And what is it about?
It's an extraction shooter where
Mm.
you can equip uh, equip it with maybe mm, guns and this kind of stuff in order to go to an extraction, in order to go to a zone, recollect resources, and then you go to an extraction point, you extract, and you sell all the things that you catched to improve your equipment, and you can in this way have more better rates. That's how they call it,
Great.
better rates, and
Excellent.
obtain more things and improve your equipment even more. Basically, that's it's about what it's.
Okay. The word is equipment. Equipment. No equipment, but equipment. Okay. Equipment.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Great. Excellent. So for example, why you should do it with these kind of things? Because these are the things that you know a lot. For example, the Daniel knows his game a lot. So he can give himself opinions about it. Wouldn't it be better if we could sell no say, pieces of clothing of the game, for example, right? Imagining possibilities or giving opinion about real stuff. Isn't it sad how many people enter to the game and lose all the matches, for example? Or isn't it unfair how other people cheat codes or use cheat codes to be better, for example? So it's a good idea that you take one object that you know pretty well, your favorite game, your favorite series, your favorite book, whatever, and start creating these kind of opinions about it. Okay, ready? Yeah, in this case, we focus this about the technology, but it is not necessarily connected to technology. We can do these kind of questions and this kind of passive voice connections in any tense, any different tense that we want, we can do it. Okay, it's simply a matter of giving our opinion and standing, argumenting our opinion with different facts. Okay, guys, questions, difficulties, or problems?
No, sir, all is clear.
Excellent, very good. Guys, one information important, very important information. Remember that tomorrow I am going to start my vacation period. Ready? So in the platform, I am going to leave the classes recorded of the weeks 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7, that are the 3 weeks that I'm going to be on vacation. So in the video part of the platform, right here, wait, yes, it's me. You, sorry, you enter to the course, of course, to intermediate 2, go to the content part, and in the last unit of the content part, you're going to find resources. There in resources, you're going to find all the classes of this level until the week number 7. We have seen today week number 4, and the next 3 weeks, week number 5, week number 6, and week number 7. They are going to be pre-recorded there, so you can watch the video, even if you have class with me or with other teacher, or well, that independently of that, you can watch the classes there because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be on vacations. Ready, guys? So, questions about it? Do you know where you find the videos?
It's
Yes,
clear,
sir.
teacher.
So, my dear guys. So, and continue working on the activities, weeks 4, okay, 5, 6, and 7, and that's it. See you in 3 weeks. Okay. Thank you for everything. Hope to continue seeing you in class. I will let you know when I come back to work, and that's it. Ready? So when I come back to work, I will program the classes on Saturday, so you can program the classes for the next week. Yes. My last day of vacations is June 14. So the next week is June 16, I think so. We're going to have classes already normally, like we have been doing so far, in the week number 8 of intermediate 2. Okay, guys, great hugs, and thank you for being here. Thank you for the participation, and see you in 3 weeks. Okay,
Okay,
Bye,
bye,
teacher. Thank you so
teacher.
much.
Thank
thank you.
you.
You.